At 40 degrees Celsius, the world doesn't feel real anymore. Sound dies, movement slows, and mistakes become permanent. The lake was supposed to be safe. It had been frozen for weeks, thick, silent, unmoving. The kind of ice locals trusted without thinking. Until the sound came. A deep, hollow crack echoed across the white emptiness, sharp enough to stop the snowmobiles instantly. Clara killed the engine and listened. The wind howled, but beneath it, something else. A sound that didn't belong. Not the wind, not the ice. A whinny, low, strained, almost swallowed by the cold. Her blood ran cold faster than the air ever could. "There's an animal out there," she said, already moving. They followed the sound across the lake, boots crunching over snow hardened like stone. The cold burned their lungs with every breath. Eyelashes froze together. Skin screamed beneath layers of clothing. Then they saw it. A horse frozen into the ice. Its body was half submerged, legs trapped beneath a thick, milky surface. Cracks spread outward from its chest like shattered glass. Eyes clung to its mane, its tail, its skin, locking it in place. The horse's breath came in weak, uneven bursts, each one rising like smoke before vanishing into the wind. It had been there for hours, maybe longer. Clara dropped to her knees beside it, pressing her gloved hand against the ice. It was thick, but not solid enough. Not anymore. The weight of the horse had broken through earlier, and the cold had been sealing the trap ever since. The horse tried to move. The ice groaned in response. "Don't," she whispered, though she knew it couldn't understand. "Please don't move. Out here, water kills faster than fear. One break, one wrong step, and everything disappears beneath the surface." There was no rescue team nearby, no cell signal, no time. Batteries froze in minutes. Metal tools burned through gloves. Even standing still too long was dangerous. The temperature was dropping, fast. Clara looked at the horse's eyes, wide, dark, exhausted. Not panicked, just holding on. If they did nothing, the cold would finish the job. If they tried, the ice might take them all. She stood up, tightening her gloves. "We do it now," she said, "or we lose it forever." And beneath their feet, the ice answered with another crack. They didn't talk any more. At 40 degrees Celsius, words waste energy. Clara tied the rope around her waist with fingers that no longer felt like her own. The fabric was stiff as wire, frozen into shape. Someone anchored the other end around a snowmobile, the engine left running to keep it from dying in the cold. Every second mattered. The horse shifted again, its muscles trembling violently. A sharp crack spread beneath its chest, and icy water surged up, instantly freezing along the edges. "Careful!" Someone shouted. Too late for careful. Clara crawled forward, spreading her weight flat against the ice. The surface creaked beneath her, groaning like it was alive. She could feel the cold through her knees, through her bones, creeping upward. The axe felt impossibly heavy. She raised it and struck. The impact sent a jolt through her arms, so strong it stole her breath. Ice didn't shatter, it resisted. Thick, dense, relentless. She struck again, and again. Each blow carved only shallow scars, but cracks began to spread, thin white lines racing outward. Steam poured from the horse's nostrils, then slowed. Frost formed instantly along its lips. Hypothermia was already taking it. They poured warm water from their thermos flasks onto the ice. It hissed on contact, weakening the surface just enough. Strike, crack, strike. The ice finally gave way around the horse's shoulder, collapsing inward with a sharp snap. Water rushed in, soaking its chest. The horse screamed, a raw, broken sound that cut through the wind. Clara froze. If the animal panicked now, it would be over. "Easy, easy," she whispered, pressing her hand against its frozen neck. The horse trembled violently, but didn't fight. Its strength was nearly gone. They slipped the rope beneath its body, working fast before the ice refroze. Fingers bled, gloves split. Pain vanished, an even worse sign. "Pull," Clara shouted. The rope went tight. Nothing moved. The snowmobile roared as they tried again, tires spinning uselessly on ice. The rope burned into the horse's skin, but still, nothing. The ice cracked louder this time. Clara felt it shift beneath her weight. They were running out of time. The horse was fading, and the lake was deciding how this would end. Then the horse's body slid forward 1 inch. Not much, but enough to change everything. The lake answered their effort with violence. A sharp, echoing crack ripped through the ice, louder than before, deeper. The surface beneath Clara's chest dropped 1 inch, then another. Freezing water surged up instantly, swallowing her knees. Pain exploded through her legs. Cold this intense doesn't burn. It attacks. "Back, get back," someone yelled. But there was nowhere to go. The horse lurched forward suddenly, instinct kicking in too late. The movement shattered the fragile ring of ice around its body. With a terrifying snap, the surface collapsed outward, sending slabs of ice tilting into the black water below. For 1 frozen second, everything stopped. Then the lake opened. Water rushed up around the horse's chest and neck, soaking its entire body. Steam exploded into the air, turning instantly to frost. The horse screamed, a raw sound of pure panic, and tried to climb, but its legs slid uselessly beneath the surface. The rope went tight. "Pull. Now." Clara screamed. The snowmobile roared as they gave it everything. The rope vibrated violently, threatening to snap. Clara threw her weight backward, fingers locked around the line, boots skidding across the ice. The horse surged forward with a strength no one thought it had left. Its front legs broke free, slamming onto the ice with a sickening thud. Ice shattered beneath the impact, water spraying everywhere. For a moment the horse slipped, its body sliding back toward the hole. Clara didn't think. She lunged forward and wrapped both arms around the horse's neck, pressing her face into its frozen mane. Cold soaked through her clothes instantly, stealing her breath. "If you go, I go," she whispered, teeth chattering uncontrollably. The ice groaned again. Together they pulled, screaming, slipping, muscles tearing, until finally the horse's hind legs tore free from the lake with a violent splash. The animal collapsed onto solid ice, heaving, trembling, barely conscious, alive. But the danger wasn't over. Water soaked its coat, freezing solid in seconds. Ice formed along its legs, locking them in place. The wind cut harder now, merciless, howling across the open lake. Clara lay beside the horse, chest heaving, unable to feel her legs. Hypothermia was no longer a threat. It was already there, and the storm was coming. They moved on instinct. There was no cheering, no relief yet. Only survival. They dragged the horse away from the lake, inch by inch, until the ice beneath their feet stopped groaning. The snow near the shore was packed and solid safe. Someone wrapped thick blankets around the horse's body, while another rubbed its legs, forcing blood back into frozen muscles. The animal trembled violently. That was good. Shaking meant it was still fighting. Clara pressed her forehead against the horse's neck, feeling nothing at first, then, slowly, warmth. Weak, but real. Its breathing steadied, deep and slow clouds of steam rising into the frozen air. The wind howled harder now, snow whipping sideways as the storm finally arrived. They formed a wall around the horse, blocking the wind with their bodies and machines. Minutes passed, then something incredible happened. The horse tried to stand. At first it failed, legs buckling beneath its weight. Clara and the others caught it, holding it upright, refusing to let it fall back into the snow. "Easy," she whispered. "You're safe now." On the second attempt, the horse stood, shaking, unstable, but standing. A quiet disbelief settled over the group. No one spoke. They just stared, breath caught in their chests, watching a life return from the edge. They led the horse slowly toward shelter, every step careful, every movement deliberate. By the time they reached the stable, its coat was steaming, ice melting into water, color returning to skin that had been pale and frozen moments before. Hours later, the storm raged outside. Inside, the horse lay on thick straw, eyes half closed, alive. A bucket of warm water stood nearby. Food untouched, but waiting. Clara sat against the wall, exhaustion finally catching her. Her hands were blistered, her legs burned. Her body shook uncontrollably, but she was smiling. Out here in Greenland, the cold doesn't show mercy. It takes without warning. It doesn't care how strong you are. But today the cold lost, because a group of people refused to walk away, because a horse refused to give up, because sometimes, even in the harshest places on earth, life wins. In a place where the cold never forgives, one life was saved because someone refused to walk away. If this story moved you, don't scroll. Like, share, and remind the world that compassion is stronger than the cold.